This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
Man, this got to stop happening. We have so many indie festival friendly and just unsung but very key filmmakers we love outlining on the show. And lo and behold, so many of them just keep passing away before we can get a chance to share this with them or even their social media page. But that's okay. I'll deflate my ego. We don't. It'd be cool to just at least do this while they're still with us. And man, we've had so many just leave us. We've had William Friedkin, James Foley. We had all these chats we were recording ahead of time that weren't going to pop up right away. And lo and behold, they've left us. And adding to that list is unfortunately David Lynch, but it's all good. We were all just having all various other kinds of chats, and I figured I'd share an edit of various compilations on all very new, but all just very pertinent to what sums up the man's style and legacy. So enjoy.
So again, for me, and Ken, if you got something ready, feel free.
I'm thinking.
I'm going to immediately take the inverse again, because I just want to, once again, sort of shout out to the GOAT, to obviously the great David Lynch.
Yes.
He, again, at the time of we're recording, it passed about, I don't know, 2 months ago, a month ago.
Yeah, I can't process it.
I've been thinking about it a lot lately. Again, our mutual friend, Brian Weissel, was the one who first introduced me to some of his films. And I wasn't first in, but I loved Mulholland Drive, and of course everyone knows Twin Peaks. But
yep,
Elephant Man, more into like some of his herb, but like really a lot of his later stuff I like quite a bit. But
and his material is so much bigger.
He was bonkers and out there, but you start to realize that he's kind of got it. I think Terry Gilliam, we do the.
Oh man, yeah.
Gonzo Minute.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas as part of our Gonzo Minute right now, and we're really diving into and he tends to be a little out there, and you could probably say he's a little full of himself because Brazil's a bit pretentious. What do you think?
Well, okay, see,
I like Brazil, but there are some other bizarre ones he's done. Yeah.
So when we say full of themselves, to a fault, right? Because I would go with J.J. Abrams on that one.
Oh fuck!
Oh yeah.
No, he sucks the worst. But he's not bonkers and out there. He's AI.
He's throwing out.
I would say give it to someone whose plot. You might give it to whoever's plot twist you can't stand, because I think this is it. Lynch knew how to do ambiguity, and then just be like, this is how I intended it, versus a filmmaker who
here's someone who I think a lot of people are finally getting, and I don't want to make it sound like we are somehow geniuses. I just mean the general public, and
you feel like the material has unraveled.
Where Verhoeven refused to kind of let anyone in on the plot. He was more or less a troll.
Very stylized.
And he would never tell anyone what he was doing, and now everyone's like, oh, I see. Yes. And again, it's because four of us were geniuses. They're
and he had some of his...
Watching Verhoeven knew that his weirdness was intentional.
He had some of his downs, but he has a lot of ups. And his Dutch work is just amazing. I totally recommend.
Even his downs were ones like Showgirls, which a lot of people were like, oh, I get it now. There's a lot of I get it now with him and Lynch.
But I'm glad you guys brought up Verhoeven. Flesh and Blood is a perfect movie, just that he did with Jennifer Jason Leigh and Rutger Hauer, just showing how all these shenanigans, all these bastards get away with everything, because it's the medieval ages, and he's had so many other good war movies that just show, what he was doing with Starship Troopers, just fascism and how it destroys everything it touches, and a lot of people like to just get shocked by all the sex and violence he puts in his movies. It's like, well, tell me you're just not paying attention to the movie. Like that's not.
Helldivers 2 is a very popular video game, even at the time we're recording this, and that has been a big part of the discourse, is people misunderstanding his sort of jingoistic patriotism in that film is like making fun of Heinlein's original but he refuses again to say that that's what he was doing. So
that's the other thing too, and so that goes back to even as far back as Apocalypse Now, where Coppola's like, I'm not making a political movie. I'm like, well, you're talking about Vietnam, so you don't want that label, but guess what? Look at all the deleted scenes.
This is not based on Heart of Darkness. Wait, he's going down a river. That guy's in bullshitting, Francis.
Not subtle at all. I mean, there's even a deleted scene with Marlon Brando's Kurt's character saying, "Your friends in Washington sent you." I'm like, yeah, so tell me that. It's like they know it is, but they don't want to be labeled or have it affect their business. And it's like, well, guess what? Also,
there's part of that. But I mean, Ken, you were on when we last got together, we were talking about Spielberg. I made the quick joke that it was like Jaws is a political movie, but it is, because the whole point is
the senator opens up the beach.
Like, no, we have to keep going, right? It's an RFK.
Mayor, my bad, but
don't worry about the vaccines.
There you go. Yeah, it's just like
real quick. Just get back to David Lynch. I know everyone loves Twin Peaks. Everyone loves Eraserhead. Everyone loves his out there stuff. For me, Blue Velvet is a masterpiece.
Kyle MacLachlan. You can't. There
you go.
If you don't get a chance, listeners, but my co-host looks exactly like Kyle MacLachlan. In fact, he uses that as his.
There you go.
And I love Blue Velvet. That one, and I know he did one that was like Straight Story or whatever. It was kind of address his critics about that.
He's like, I can do a G-rated movie that everyone loves.
Dennis Hopper and holy shit.
But Blue Velvet is amazing, and it's
disturbing.
No, actually, I don't like Eraser. I don't like when he starts getting too full of himself in the original sense of Cam's question. Because let's admit it, he could and
gone too far.
But like you say, like you at least see a vision is what we're getting at, as opposed to someone going too far. You know,
I think we're missing the ultimate, which would be George Lucas.
Dude, Uncle George.
The prequels, famously the most expensive independent films ever created.
That he is the his picture is in the dictionary defining that.
Yeah.
I bet.
Himself.
So we mentioned our friend Brian Weissel earlier. He wrote to Roger Ebert once because Roger Ebert liked Mulholland Drive and did not like previous anything really by Lynch, and he really he gave a good review to Mulholland Drive, and so Weissel wrote to Ebert. He goes, "Looks like you finally got David Lynch right," and Ebert wrote back. He goes, "David Lynch finally got it right."
Damn.
Got him.
Damn.
We might have to have Brian Weiser on the show.
I was thinking about adding him on, but I didn't want to jump in. So
no, that's fine. For those who don't know,
and also he had to move during the wildfires, and I don't know.
That's a shame.
No.
At Southwestern Law School.
Any listeners, if you want to just type in Brian Weissel and just like whatever you find, IMDb or whatever, you'll find him quickly. If he's the guy,
he's worked on Bar Rescue
and just donate $500.
Well, donate that to us.
Donate to us.
Donate to us, and we'll give some to him.
Yeah, if you look at Rick and Morty, Brian Weissel is that guy. He still does cartoons, and our voices are in some of his cartoons.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Uncredited.
I feel like we're plugging stuff. Keep going ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's fine.
Hello there, Jacked Up Review podcast crew. It is I, the Vern from Cinema Recall, here to give you my small thoughts on David Lynch and movies I would recommend that both critics and audiences enjoy. And I gotta say, it's difficult to recommend something here because David Lynch is not going to be everyone's cup of tea. everyone just thinks that he makes these really weird, bizarre movies with dark themes and that all he has to do. But the man does show a lot of emotions in his movies. And I gotta say, if I'm going to recommend a movie that both critics and audiences are going to enjoy, I'm going to actually recommend The Elephant Man from 1980, starring Anthony Hopkins and John Hurt. This is the story about John Merrick, the deformed individual that was nicknamed the Elephant Man, and how one doctor made him see his humanity and that he is not just this person to be shown at freak shows. And it has all the sort of like weird things you see from David Lynch movies, because this was released after Eraserhead. In fact, Mel Brooks, that's right, Mel Brooks, from Young Frankenstein, Spaceballs, he gave him this directing job to do Elephant Man, and it's absolutely just great. It's shot in beautiful black and white, and I think it just makes the elements of both David Lynch material and whatnot. It's a very just bizarre but equally beautiful film. And then after that, I would recommend the TV show Twin Peaks. Definitely watch the pilot. I think the pilot is a good movie in and of itself right there too. Watch the show, and if you don't know, you should know. It's all about the death of this high school student named Laura Palmer and the investigation to find out about who killed her. But what's great about the show is that the town of Twin Peaks has all these eclectic individuals, and you find yourself wanting to know more about their dramas than you do about who killed Laura Palmer, which I think is an absolutely great thing. It's a town that feels very real despite all these eccentric characters, and that's another one that I think would be really good for you. And then after that, for David Lynch features, Blue Velvet. If you like Twin Peaks, Blue Velvet is good because Blue Velvet is sort of set in the almost the same town of Twin Peaks, even though they don't call it Twin Peaks. And this one involves a young student who finds a missing ear while visiting his father. And the movie like peels back like the layers of like 50s and 40s, wholesome values and attitudes and scenes, and peers into the underbelly of this town, and it is a brilliant horror film. I think that Dennis Hopper as Frank Booth is one of the best villains that you'll ever see on screen, and he's absolutely brilliant. And I think that is a movie that audiences and critics will enjoy, even though critics at the time didn't really seem to enjoy the movie all that much, but I think it's one that you can easily watch. And then after that, I would also recommend the Wild at Heart with Nicolas Cage and Laura Dern as two lovers on the run from cops and mobsters, and it's absolutely great. The Straight Story, David Lynch's only Disney film that he made about an older gentleman who travels through, like, I think it was from Iowa to Wisconsin on a tractor, and it's great. It was made right after Lost Highway and before Mulholland Drive, and Lost Highway and Mulholland Drive are very dark. They are very confusing features, all right? Especially if you watch them the first time. Like, it's difficult to really understand both the plots of Mulholland Drive and Lost Highway the first time you watch them. I will say Mulholland Drive is probably, for me, David Lynch's best movie ever, because even if you do not understand anything that's going on in Mulholland Drive, it is a fun watch. These characters are super great. There are just some amazing scenes after another with this one. In fact, for Cinema Recall, we did a whole 5-part retrospective on Mulholland Drive to understand it, and I don't think we even got the movie right, because David Lynch never wants you to understand his films. He just wants you to feel them and get the emotion from them. And I do. There's a scene in Mulholland Drive where the two girls are at this club, and when they start crying, when this girl's singing, you kind of do the same thing too. And it's confusing. It doesn't make much sense, but he does have this emotional sort of like theme on his movies that I don't think get enough credit for that. So yeah, that's just some small recommendations for that. And then, like I said before, after you watch those three, Elephant Man, Twin Peaks, and then Blue Velvet, I will say then go back and watch his other movies. If you like those, then you are free form to go into his other features. You know, go watch like Eraserhead, watch Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me after you watch the first 2 seasons of Twin Peaks, because that is a movie that is very diversive with that one. It's a lot of people love Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, and a lot of people hate it. It's a movie that I rewatch every so often, and I think that Cheryl Lee and Ray Wise just do an amazing job in that feature, but it's not going to be for everyone. Lost Highway is a good one. Bill Pullman, Patricia Arquette, Balthazar Getty. Very sort of like confusing plotline. In fact, I was on Collateral Cinema podcast talking about Lost Highway, so go check that out. Anyways, folks, that is it. Love you all very much. Shout out to Cam and everyone there at the Jacked Up Review podcast show. Hoping to be back on to talk movies with you, gents, and I hope you have a great day. Laters. Bye.
We'll return after these messages.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, "Give it up, Jimmy. You got to sink this putt to win." On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world, and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and foodie debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in. It's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening.
It's a jacked up